The spaceship touched down on the dry, cracked surface of the alien planet Xylo. Alex Carter stepped out first. The bright yellow sun blazed in the sky above, casting a harsh light across the dusty plains. Alex squinted, but did not flinch. The sun was hot, yes, but nothing he wasn't used to. The rest of his team followed behind him, adjusting their visors and scanning the area. Not far from the landing site, a group of alien beings watched in silence. They were tall, thin, and covered in long, smooth robes. Their skin was a pale blue, and their eyes were wide with disbelief. They were the Xylons, native to this planet, and they could not understand what they were seeing. To the Xylons, sunlight was dangerous. It burned their skin in seconds and could kill them in minutes. Their cities were built underground or under massive dome shields. When they came out, they wore thick suits or carried sun-shielding devices. So when they saw Alex and his team standing under the open sun without any protection, they were shocked. "They are not burning," one Xylon whispered. "How is it possible?" Another asked. Alex walked slowly toward the group. He noticed the way they stayed in the shade of a large rock structure. Some of them even backed away as he got closer. He stopped a few feet from them and raised his hand in a friendly wave. "Hello," he said with a smile. "We come in peace." The Xylons did not answer at first. They looked at each other, unsure of what to do. Finally, one of them stepped forward. Her name was Laia. She held a small scanning device and pointed it carefully at Alex. The device beeped. She looked at the screen, confused. "No signs of skin damage," she said, almost to herself. "No radiation burns. Body temperature normal." Alex tilted his head. "Is everything all right?" Laia looked up at him, eyes still wide. "You stand in full sunlight. Are you not in pain?" Alex chuckled. "Not at all. It's warm, sure, but back home we're used to it." She blinked. "Your planet has sunlight like this?" "Yes, Earth has a lot of sunlight. Some places even hotter than this." The Xylons behind Laia gasped. One of them fainted. Laia took a careful step forward, her scanner still active. She studied Alex's exposed arms, his face, and even his neck. There were no signs of burns or harm. She turned to the others. "This is real," she said. "They are truly immune to sunlight." Alex looked around. "Is sunlight dangerous for you?" "Very," Laia said. "It kills us. We cannot survive even short exposure without damage. Our bodies are not made for this light." Alex frowned. He took off his helmet to show that he was not hiding anything. The bright sun touched his hair and skin, but he remained calm and unharmed. The Xylons moved closer now, though still carefully. They were drawn by curiosity. Some started taking notes, others whispered in excitement. "Have you traveled far?" Laia asked. "Very far," Alex said. "We are explorers. We study new worlds and meet new people." Laia nodded slowly. "Then you are very special people. You walk in deathlight as if it were nothing." Alex smiled again. "Where we come from, we call it's sunshine. Kids play in it. People grow food in it. It's part of everyday life." Laia looked up at the sun, then back at Alex. "To us, it is the most dangerous force on this planet. But to you, it is a friend." Alex looked at his team. They were unloading supplies, setting up equipment, and walking freely under the sky. None of them seemed bothered. "Maybe we can help each other," Alex said. "We'd like to learn about your planet." "And maybe you can learn about us too." Laia gave a small nod. "Yes, there is much to learn. I will take you to our city. It is safe there, beneath the ground. You can speak with our elders," Alex agreed. As Laia led them toward a hidden entrance built into a cliffside, the Xylons followed in silence. They watched every move the humans made. To them, these visitors were not just explorers. They were something more. They were beings who could walk under the deadly sky. And that was something worth understanding. The path to the Xylon city was long and narrow. Alex followed Laya through a rocky tunnel that went deep underground. The walls were smooth, and dim lights glowed along the ceiling. The air became cooler with each step. His team walked behind. Him staying close and quiet. Soon, the tunnel opened into a large space. The underground city was bright with soft lights and filled with strange buildings shaped like flowers and shells. Many Xylons walked around, all wearing long robes. When they saw the humans, they stopped and stared. Laya raised her hand. "These are the visitors from Earth," she said. "They are not harmed by the sun." Gasps and whispers filled the air. Some Xylons stepped back, while others came closer to look. A few even bowed. Alex felt a little uncomfortable, but stayed calm. "We're honored to be here," he said kindly. Laya led them to a tall building in the center of the city. Inside, the walls were covered in glowing patterns. A group of older Xylons waited in a circle. They sat on cushions and watched the humans with deep interest. An elder stood up. "I am Marin. I lead this council. We welcome you, Sunlight Walkers." Alex gave a polite nod. "Thank you. We come in peace." Marin looked at Laya. "You have seen it with your own eyes." Laya nodded. "Yes, they stood in full light without harm. Their skin was untouched." Marin turned back to Alex. "How is it possible? We have lived in fear of the sun for all our history. Even a few seconds of exposure brings pain." Alex explained simply. "On Earth, our sun is strong, but over many years, humans changed and got used to it. We have something in our skin that protects us. We call it melanin. It stops the light from hurting us." The council murmured in surprise. Marin asked, "And you live with the sun every day?" Alex smiled. "Yes, people on Earth go to beaches and sunbathe. They play sports in the sun. Some even grow food using sunlight." The elders listened with amazement. One of them whispered, "They live in what kills us." Marin sat down slowly. "We must learn more. Will you allow our scientists to study you?" Alex looked at his team, then back at the council. "We want to help. We'll share what we can. Maybe it will help you find new ways to protect yourselves." Laya stepped forward. "I can lead the study. I have already scanned Alex. There were no signs of damage. His body heat stayed normal." Marin nodded. "Very well. Begin tomorrow. For now, let them rest." Laya guided the humans to guest rooms in the upper part of the city. The rooms were clean and quiet, with round beds and gentle light. Alex sat down and looked around. "Strange place, huh?" said Jonah, one of his team members. Alex nodded. "Yeah, but amazing too. Imagine living your whole life afraid of sunlight. And now they see us walking in it like it's nothing," Jonah said. "No wonder they think we're special." The next day, Laya met them early. She wore a new robe and held more scanning tools. "Are you ready?" she asked. Alex stood up. "Ready when you are." They returned to the lab. It was filled with machines and screens showing data. Laya scanned Alex again. She checked his skin, blood, and even his heartbeat. "Everything is normal," she said. "You are healthy, even after walking in the sun." Alex smiled. "Told you." She looked serious. "Your kind has a gift. If we understand it, we may change how we live." Other Xylon scientists entered and began taking notes. They watched Alex closely, asking questions about Earth. What did sunlight feel like? How hot was it? What happened when people stayed in it too long? Alex answered as best as he could. "Too much sun can be bad for us, too. We get something called sunburn, but we use cream to protect ourselves. And we rest in the shade." Laya raised an eyebrow. "Even the strong must be careful." "Exactly," Alex said. "We just know how to live with it." The scientists were amazed. One of them said, "Maybe one day we can stand in the sun too." Laya smiled slightly. "That is the hope." By the end of the day, Alex was tired, but he felt good. He knew they were helping. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon The Xylons could have a new life. As he walked back to his room, a small Xylon child stepped out from a doorway. She looked at Alex with big eyes. "Is it true?" she asked. "You don't fear the sun?" Alex knelt down. "It's true. We come from a place where the sun is our friend." The child smiled. "I want to see it someday." "Without pain." Alex touched her shoulder gently. "Maybe one day you will." And deep below the surface of the planet Xylo, a new hope began to grow. Laia stood beside her lab table, carefully studying the results from the scans she had taken of Alex. The data was clear. His body showed no signs of damage after long exposure to Xylo's deadly sunlight. She had run the test 3 times, and each time the answer was the same. He was fine. Alex sat nearby, watching her work. He didn't fully understand all the machines, but he knew she was searching for answers. "Still the same?" he asked. Laia looked up. "Yes, your body is not like ours. You have something in your skin that we do not. It blocks the sun's danger." Alex nodded. "It's called melanin. It helps us live under the sun." Laia turned to a group of young scientists standing behind her. They whispered among themselves, amazed by what they were learning. One of them stepped forward. "Can you show us how your skin reacts to our sun again?" Alex smiled. "Of course." They followed him to a special chamber with a glass ceiling that let in real sunlight. Xylons never entered this room without full protective suits. But Alex stepped, and without hesitation, the bright light flooded the room. The Xylon scientists watched closely. Alex stood calmly, even stretching his arms out to show that he felt no pain. "He is not burning," one of them said. "No smoke. No blisters." "Nothing," another added. Laia took more notes. She pressed a button, and the light grew stronger. Still, Alex stood firm. "It's warm," he said, "but not dangerous." Laia turned off the light and opened the door. Alex stepped out unharmed. The scientists were stunned. "We have always feared the sun," Laia said softly. "But maybe we can change." Alex looked at her. "Maybe you can. Maybe your people can find a way to live in the light." Later that day, Laia called a meeting in the science hall. More than 50 Xylons came, all eager to see the human who could survive sunlight. Alex stood at the front. Laia showed slides of Earth, pictures of children playing in parks, farmers working in fields, and cities filled with sunshine. Gasps filled the room. One elder leaned forward. "You live like this every day?" "Yes," Alex said. "The sun gives us life. We grow food with it. It helps our bodies stay healthy." A young Xylon asked, "Can we ever be like that?" Alex looked to Laia. She stepped forward. "I believe so. If we study their biology and understand the secrets of their skin, we might create something to protect us. Maybe a suit, maybe a shield, or maybe even something we can take inside our bodies." The room buzzed with hope. For the first time, the Xylons saw a future that was not hidden in the shadows. That night, Alex sat outside the lab. The stars above Xylo were bright and cold, but his thoughts were warm. Leah sat beside him. "Your people are strong, not just in body, but in spirit." Alex smiled. "We've had to survive many things. Heat, cold, storms, and even space. But we always find a way." Laia nodded. "I think you were meant to come here, to show us the way." Alex looked at her. "We came to learn, but maybe we can also help." In the days that followed, Laia and her team worked day and night. They took small samples of Alex's skin and blood, studying them under powerful microscopes. They tested light filters and created new materials. Some early tests failed, but others showed promise. One afternoon, Laia ran into the lab, holding a small clear patch. "Alex, we did it. We made a test patch that blocks the light like your skin does." Alex's eyes lit up. "That's great. Have you tried it?" "Not yet. I wanted you to see." She called one of her assistants. The young Xylon placed the patch on his arm and carefully stepped into the sunlight room. The others watched with held breath. Seconds passed, then a full minute. Number. Burns. No pain. The room burst into cheers. Alex clapped. That's just the beginning, Laya smiled. Yes, but it's a good beginning. Word of the experiment spread quickly. Xylons from all over the city came to hear about the discovery. They began to dream about life in the light. Gardens, open homes, playing children. For the first time in generations, they began to believe that the sun might not always be their enemy, and all because a human walked into their world and stood in the light without fear. The days passed quickly in the underground city. Alex and his team were busy working with Laya and the other Xylon scientists. More tests were done, and new ideas were shared every day. The humans and Xylons were learning from each other. A bond was starting to form. Laya wanted the Xylon people to understand more about the humans. She asked Alex to help her plan something special. She wanted to show how humans lived in sunlight. Alex agreed. Together, they created a large screen in the center of the city. It showed videos from Earth, people walking outside, children playing. In parks, farmers in fields full of green crops, and families having picnics under the sun. The Xylons watched with wide eyes. They saw that humans were not just strong, but happy in the sunlight. Many Xylons cried. They had never imagined a life where the sun was not feared. Some children reached out to the screen, trying to touch the bright light. After the show, Laya stood and spoke. These humans are not gods. They are people like us. But they have learned to live with the sun. We must learn too. The crowd clapped softly. Hope was growing in their hearts. Later, Laya and Alex sat together on a bench made of smooth white stone. Alex looked at the screen one last time. I think they understand us more now. Yes, Laya said, but there is still fear. Many of us are not ready to face the sun. Alex nodded. That's normal. Fear takes time to fade. But you've already taken the first step. Just then, a loud noise echoed through the city. A red light began flashing across the walls. Xylon guards ran through the streets. Laya stood quickly. That sound means danger. Something is wrong. They rushed to the main control room. A large screen showed a colony far from the city. It was a small village that lived near the surface, under an old shield dome. The dome was damaged. Sunlight had already begun to enter. There are people trapped inside, a Xylon officer said. The shield is failing. We don't have time to fix it. They'll burn, someone whispered. Alex stepped forward. We can help. My team and I can walk in the sunlight. We can reach them. Marin, the elder, appeared on the screen. It is too dangerous. The shield could fall completely. Then we have to go now, Alex said firmly. Every second matters. Laya looked at him with worry. Are you sure? Alex nodded. We can't let them die. In minutes, the human team boarded their small transport. Laya gave them a map and a small device to contact her. As the ship lifted off, the Xylons watched with silent hope. The journey to the colony was short. As they got close, they saw the damage. Large cracks covered the dome. Beams of sunlight cut through, burning holes in the ground. Inside, Xylon families huddled in the shadows. Trapped. Alex and his team put on their gear and stepped into the sun. The heat was strong, but not deadly to them. They moved quickly, helping the Xylons out of the buildings and toward the ship. One child cried out as a sunbeam came too close. Alex picked her up and shielded her with his body. It's all right. I've got you, he said gently. The team worked fast. One by one, they brought the Xylons to safety. It took time, but no one gave up. Even when more cracks opened and sunlight poured in, the humans kept going. Finally, the last group was on the ship. Alex checked the area one more time to be sure. Then he gave the signal, and they flew back. When they landed, the city was waiting. Cheers filled the air as the rescued Xylons stepped out. Families hugged, elders wept, and children waved at the humans. Laya ran to Alex. You did it. You saved them. Alex smiled, tired but proud. We all did. Marin stood before the crowd. Today, the humans risked their lives for us. They faced what we feared most. They did not turn away. The crowd clapped loudly. The fear was still there, but now it stood. Besides something new trust, that night, the Xylons and humans shared a meal together. Stories were told. Laughter echoed through the halls. And for the first time in Xylon history, songs were sung about the sunlight, not with fear, but with hope. The sky above remained bright and dangerous. But now, in the hearts of the Xylons, it was no longer the end of life, that it was the beginning of change. Laia worked day and night in the lab with her team. The first test patch had been a success. It blocked the sunlight just enough for a Xylon to stand in a beam of light for a short time. But Laia wanted more. She wanted her people to be free under the open sky, just like the humans. Alex helped when he could. He answered questions, gave advice, and shared more about life on Earth. His team helped too. They showed the Xylons how humans protected their skin, how they used clothing, hats, and sunscreen. The Xylons were surprised by how simple the methods were. One morning, Laia showed Alex a new suit. It was light, flexible, and made with special layers that copied the way human skin handled sunlight. "I think this will work," Laia said. "It's better than the old shield suits. Lighter, safer, and easy to wear." Alex smiled. "Let's test it." They went to the surface. The sun was already high. A young Xylon named Eero volunteered to wear the new suit. He stepped out slowly, nervous at first, but nothing happened. He walked further, then even ran in a circle. He laughed. "It's working. I can feel the warmth, but I am not burning." Laia clapped her hands in joy. The other Xylons watching cheered. That moment was shared across the city. It gave people hope. For the first time, Xylons believed they could one day live outside. That same evening, Alex and Laia sat on a high ledge above the lab. They watched the sunset together. It was a rare sight for Xylons. "This is beautiful," Laia said softly. "And I have you to thank for this. Not just me," Alex said. "We did it together." "Still," she said, looking at him, "you brought us something we never imagined. A future with the sun." Down in the city, people were celebrating. Lanterns lit up the streets. Songs were sung. Children ran around pretending to wear sunlight suits, but not everyone was happy. In a dark part of the city, some elders gathered. They were afraid of change. They had lived in the shadows their whole lives. "This is dangerous," one elder said. "We are not meant to live in the sun. The humans are strong, but we are not. This may break us," another added. A third said, "We must slow this down. Too much change is risky." They sent a message to Marin, asking for a council meeting. The next day, the council met. The room was full. Some elders wanted to pause the project. Others supported Laia and Alex. The room grew tense. Alex stood and spoke. "I understand your fear. Change is never easy. But you've already seen what is possible. The sun doesn't have to be your enemy." Laia added, "No one is forcing anyone. But we should not stop those who want to try." Marin listened quietly. Then he stood. "Fear is normal, but courage moves us forward. We will let the work continue." The room was quiet. Then applause broke out. Work resumed quickly. More suits were made. Tests were run in different light levels. Slowly, the Xylons grew braver. One day, a group of children wearing the suits were taken to the surface. They stepped out one by one. The sun touched them for the first time in their lives. Their eyes lit up with joy. Laia cried as she watched them. "This is why we worked so hard." Alex nodded. "They'll grow up without fear. That's the real success." That night, the humans and Xylons held a new kind of gathering. It was on the surface, under the stars. Lamps made soft light. Music played. People danced and talked. Laia looked around. "Do you see this, Alex? This is the beginning of something new. Alex smiled. It's more than I hoped for. From far above, the sun had gone, but its light remained in their hearts. The Xylons were no longer just people of the shadows. They were stepping into the light, and they were not alone. More and more Xylons began using the new sunlight suits. They walked in small groups to the surface, first for minutes, then for hours. They learned how to enjoy the sun without fear. Some sat in the light and closed their eyes, just feeling the warmth. Others brought instruments and played music under the open sky. Laia stood near the edge of a cliff one morning, watching a group of children chase each other in the sunlight. They laughed and ran without worry. This was something she had never seen as a child. Alex walked up beside her. They look happy. They are, Laia said. You gave this to them. No, Alex replied, smiling. You all chose to make it happen. I just helped. The Xylon Council watched the changes closely. Even the elders who had doubted the project began to understand. Marin, the head elder, gave a speech in the city square. We once feared the sun. We hid from it. We believed it was death. But today, we see a different truth. The sun can be life. The humans showed us that, and we are forever changed. The crowd cheered. It was clear that a new age had begun. Laia's team worked on more improvements. The new suits were made faster and were easier to wear. Some Xylons even began building homes above ground. These homes had special windows that let in filtered sunlight. Families moved in, curious and brave. One afternoon, a young Xylon girl named Nira invited Alex to her new house. Her family had never lived above ground before. Now they had a small garden where plants grew in real sunlight. I water the plants every morning, Nira said proudly, just like the human videos. Alex smiled. You're doing a great job. Back in the lab, Laia tested a new version of the suit. This one was even thinner and looked almost like regular clothes. She wore it into the sunlight room for the first time. Alex waited outside, watching through the glass. She stepped into the light and paused. Then she walked, slowly at first. Nothing happened. She smiled. When she came out, Alex clapped. You did it. It felt normal, she said, still amazed. Like I was part of the world, not hiding from it. That evening, Leah asked Alex to walk with her on the surface. The sky was orange and gold as the sun began to set. They walked along the stone path lined with small lights. You know, Laia said, we've always thought of the sun as something to fear. But I see now that fear was a cage. We built it. And we stayed in it for too long. Fear can protect us, Alex said. But it can also hold us back. They reached a hill where a small crowd had gathered. Tonight was the first official Sunlight Festival. It was a celebration of everything they had achieved together. There were music and dances. Xylons wore suits of many colors. Humans joined the fun, teaching their friends Earth games and songs. Lanterns floated into the air. Tables were filled with food. Children painted suns on the walls. Laia and Alex sat on a blanket and looked at the stars. You'll be going home soon, she said quietly. Alex nodded. Yeah, the mission is almost over. We've done what we came to do. Laia looked down. It will be strange without you here. You don't need me anymore, Alex said. You've built something strong. This is your future, she smiled. Still, I'll miss you. Alex looked at the people around them. The joy, the light, the music, it was something beautiful. I'll miss you too, all of you. The next day, the humans prepared their ship. Xylons came to say goodbye. Children gave them drawings. Scientists thanked them for their help. Elders nodded with deep respect. Marin shook Alex's hand. You did more than survive our sun. You changed how we see it and how we see ourselves. Laia stood nearby, holding a small gift. She handed it to Alex. Open it when you reach Earth, she said. He took it with a smile. I will. Thank you. As the ship lifted off, the Xylons waved. Below, their world was still the same sun, the same land. But everything had changed. They were no longer hiding. They had learned to walk in the light. The news about the humans spread quickly through the city of the Xylons. Everywhere Alex and his team went, the blue-skinned people stopped and stared. Even those who were busy with their work would look up and whisper to each other. The elders called an emergency meeting in the large hall below the city. The place was full of Xylons, and the humans were brought to the center for everyone to see. Alex stood with his team, calm but a little nervous. He looked at the faces around him, all curious and a bit afraid. Laia was there, standing by his side, ready to speak for him. She spoke slowly so everyone could understand. "These humans are not like us," she said. "They walk under the sun, and the sun does not harm them." A low sound of amazement moved through the crowd. Some did not believe her. One of the elders, a tall Xylon with deep silver eyes, asked, "How do we know this is true?" Laia looked at Alex. Alex nodded and stepped forward. "I will show you," he said. "Bring me to the surface. Let me stand in the sun." The crowd murmured. A few Xylons shook their heads, afraid of what might happen, but the elder agreed. The humans and a group of Xylons moved up to the surface. The heavy doors opened, and the light poured in. All the Xylons stayed back in the shadows. Alex took off his helmet and walked out into the bright sunlight. He stood there for many minutes. Nothing happened. His skin did not burn. He did not cry out in pain. He looked strong and calm. The Xylons inside the doorway stared with wide eyes. One small child even tried to step into the sun, but was pulled back by her parent. Alex smiled gently at them and waved. "It is all right. I am safe." After some time, they went back underground. The elder touched Alex's arm, amazed. "Your people are strong in ways we never thought possible," he said. Back in the meeting hall, the Xylons talked loudly among themselves. Some wanted to learn from the humans. Others were worried. They had never met a race so different. One Xylon stood up and spoke to everyone. "Maybe humans can help us. Maybe they can find a way for us to live safely with the sun. Or maybe we can help each other in new ways." Alex listened and nodded. "On Earth, we learned to use the sun for good things. We use it to make power, to grow food, and for warmth. Maybe we can show you our ways." Laia turned to him, hope shining in her eyes. "Can you really help us?" Alex smiled. "We can try. We have scientists and doctors. We can share what we know. Maybe we can even build new shields or teach you how to use sunlight safely." The elders talked for a long time. At last, they decided to trust the humans. They gave them a special home in the city. They also gave them the chance to study Xylon technology. Days passed. The humans worked with the Xylons, learning about their machines and their ways of life. Alex and Laia became good friends. They talked every day about their worlds, their people, and their hopes for the future. One day, Alex asked Laia, "Do you think one day your people will be able to walk in the sun like us?" Laia thought for a long time. "Maybe not like you, but maybe we can find a way to be less afraid. Maybe we can build better shields, or maybe we will find a medicine or a suit that helps us." Alex nodded. "Whatever happens, we will help you." Months passed, and the two groups worked together. The Xylons built new types of shields with help from human science. The humans learned how to live better underground. Both groups shared stories, meals, and even games. The day came when a small group of Xylon children could stand under a new shield and feel the sun's warmth without pain. Their laughter echoed through the city. The humans watched with joy, and Alex felt proud. The elders called one more meeting. "Today our world is changed," the elder said. "Because of our new friends, we are not as afraid of the sun. We are stronger together." Alex and his team smiled. They had come as strangers, but now they were family. The story of the humans and the Xylons became a legend on the planet. People told it for many years, and every time the sun shone, they remembered. The first day, Alex Carter stood in the deadly light, showing everyone that what is dangerous for some can be hope for others.